big day today. Gonna get up and go, baby. Day 92. Gotta pack up and get breakfast down by Nickel Lake. Beautiful morning. Alright, this is pretty cool. Echo Lake, little marina here. Surprise, surprise! 1,100 miles on the PCT. Look at that. Right here in Desolation Wilderness. Desolation. Look at this. It is beautiful. Desolation. It's weird to say, but it's an easy word. Desolation. Desolate. Very desolate. So yeah, hit the 1,100 mark here and just got some beautiful views. So excited. Over and out. Up on 8 o'clock. Look at that sun. That is a western sky that I've been staring at for the last 4 or 5 miles. But about 2 miles away from camp, relatively downhill, and 1 mile, and I'll be out of the Desolation Wilderness. So I do not have a bear canister, and it is required within this wilderness area. So the only way around it is to go from point to point through it and then stay on the other side. And I can hang my food. So it was about a 20-mile gap between point A to point B, and another couple miles on either side. It might be a record day today. My record day was 25. Today might be 26. I gotta add it up, but I'll let you know. Still gotta set up camp and get my belly filled up. So, all right. Catch you in 2 miles. Later. All right, just came out of the trailhead, or to this trailhead. You can see this permit's required to enter the wilderness that I was just in, which is all covered under our PCT permit. But basically, I was just in those woods, and nice to be out. Here's a trailhead. Barker Pass PCT trail. All right, one thing really neat about PCT right here, it shares the Tahoe Rim Trail. And there's been quite a bit of people that have decided to hike the Tahoe Rim Trail. I'm sure every year, but I've seen a lot of thru hikers. And it circles basically the Lake of Tahoe, but this is one of the few sites on this side, I'm on the west side of the lake, that you could actually see Tahoe Lake, or Lake Tahoe. All right, just had some killer trail magic. Root beer floats, watermelon, 2 very cool ladies, and I got to see Legend. Legend was just packing up. Remembered Legend, I had saw him at Scissors Crossing, and another little town. But yeah, very cool. Thanks, Legend, and thank you, ladies. I didn't get your names, but appreciate the root beer float and everything else you provided. Heading up. Over and out. top of this Tahoe Rim Trail, and there's Lake Tahoe, and then you can see way off in the distance, and I'm heading that way. That is Alpine Meadow Ski Resort, way out there. beautiful section of the PCT on top of the Tahoe Rim Trail. So, all right, the sun just set. Downgrade. And about another mile and a half to the campsite. Dropping down. Good morning. Day 94 on the PCT. And I got up pretty normal on the trail just after 7 and have another glorious day ahead of me. Climbing all morning and basically almost to the top of Palace something ski resort. So, second ski resort that I've seen up and around Lake Tahoe, but definitely the big climb of the day, which is almost over. Just so bloody awesome. All right. Once I get on top, I'll take some more pictures. But the plan is to get to Donner Ranch, and they have a cold 40-ounce beer that they give to PCT thru hikers. So that'll motivate me to get there. All right, day 494. Bam. Hard to believe it's gonna hit 100. All right, over and out. On top of the mountain here, there's Palace AIDS Tahoe ski resort right there. And there's Lake Tahoe way behind there. Pretty cool. It's a little misty out or a little hazy, but other than that, it is gorgeous. I'm gonna start heading downhill now. Over and out. All right, heading over to Tinker's Knob, which I believe it's that. And it reminds me of Tinker Cliffs in Virginia on the Appalachian Trail. So here's to the two Tinkers. Don't be a stinker if you're a tinker. All right, over and out. Alright, made it on top of Tinker's Mountain, or Peak, and it was a doozy, but felt good. Gonna grab some lunch. Look at the snow over there still. And enjoy the views and all the beautiful wildflowers out here. Thank you, Lord, for all this stuff. All this beautiful scenery. So I'm past Lake Tahoe. You can definitely see a bit of it way over there. But I'm now northwest of it in all new terrain. So gonna be hitting Donner Pass here this afternoon. And I'll keep you posted. All right, just got done having a lunch. Did the ramen with tuna, but used the chow mein noodles. That was really good. And I had a nice Starbucks coffee, so can't beat this spot for lunch. Another fantastic one. All right, got about 8 miles to Donner Pass, or Donner Ranch. Pretty much, seeing that we're all uphill, it's pretty much downhill, and maybe a couple bumps here and there. But I'm gonna hit the trail and keep you posted. Over and out. All right, just came down from Donner Pass, and I'm just on the trail here, but I hit a road,
and now heading over to the Donner Pass Ranch. It was rocky coming down, but now I'm on a paved road. A lot of people, a lot of houses coming down. You can see, looks like it's called Sugar Bowl Ski Resort, which I've never heard of, but definitely a big tourist / ski resort area. Really cool. So gonna hit route or Interstate 40, I believe, and then take a left down to the ranch for that, hopefully, cold and crispy beer. I'll keep you posted. All right, day 95, Pacific Crest Trail. Just woke up, got our stuff together. Almost 9 o'clock. Got a new pair of shades in the hiker box. So stoked. And hitting the trail. We got 42 miles is all in 3 days. So a little bit of a slow go this morning. Had a nice breakfast here in the annex at Donner Pass. And looking for a 15-mile day, roughly. If we're not, it'll be close. All right. Keep you posted. Okay, just here at Donner Pass. What a cool history. Still getting a little bit more knowledgeable about it. Look how beautiful this is. There's an old tunnel where the rail used to come through. And then it looks like a big reservoir of some sort. But they'd come over this pass through the mud and through everything just to get over to California. So, all right, here's the trail, and I'm gonna keep on hiking. All right, Interstate 80 here by Donner Pass. And look it, there's a tunnel for us thru hikers. Very cool. Woo! I can see the light. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Look at it. I can see the light. Woo! Woo! PCT 2025. Good morning. Nice Saturday morning. Just got up, got the pack all loaded up. Had a nice fire last night here, Rock Creek Stream, or White Rock Creek, that's what it's called, mile 1168. So we're pushing up to that 1200 mark, Sierra City, where we'll be getting off tomorrow, spending a little bit time back home, get some work done, then back on trail, depending on where we get back on. So, but last night was nice, had Jiffy popcorn, this nice campsite. Everything was grand, except at the end of the night, as we were finishing eating, the mosquitoes got pterodactyl-like. They were dive bombing. But that's all in all part of the fun. So got a little climb, about a mile and a half up, and then a lot of down from here and out, with some bumps in between. So nothing huge. So I'm gonna start the morning out with a climb, and then keep you posted on day 96 of the Pacific Crest Trail. It's Rick Osborne Jr. with Geology Rocks, hitting the trail. There's old White Rock Creek. All right, over and out. Let's rock and roll. Day 97. Look at that sunrise. Just had a nice breakfast. Today's Sunday. And heading to Sierra City. Last day of hiking for a while. 8.5 miles. Keep you posted. Good morning. Good morning again. About halfway down this big 2,800s descent. Definitely there's a drop, but I'm going to be at the lowest elevation that I've been in easily 5 weeks today when I was back in Charlotte. But only got about 3 miles left. It's been a real pretty forest walk. A lot of big hemlocks and a lot of big, I think they're junipers, really mature trees. And one thing I started noticing too as I go down and down, starting to see a lot more squirrels. They just don't live up at that high elevation. The little chipmunks do, but not the big normal squirrel that you might see. These were gray squirrels. But they're definitely doing forest management, which is good, especially with these wildfires going on all the time now. But look at this. It's just a big, big tree. 200-300-year-olds easily. So yeah, I'll be jumping off trail essentially for 2 weeks. Definitely my body could use it. My business can use it. I gotta figure some stuff out. And my personal life can use it right now too. So gotta get that squared around. So I can keep hiking. Woo! In any event, I will catch up with you down trail. About 3 more miles to Sierra City. A lot of people resupply. That's going to be my escape route to get to Reno. It's a matter of how that happens. So I'm working on that. Talk to you later. Okay, there's a big mountain. I thought that was Sierra Butte, but I really don't think it is, but still might be. In any event, that was what I had photoed last night at that awesome sunset. We're getting close to it, so might be Sierra Butte. We'll see. Thanks. Coming down to Sierra City, there's this amazing waterfall rock structure that I'm going to show you. You feel the coolness coming off of the water. Feels so good. And I literally took a wrong turn down at Wild Plum Junction and figured it out after I saw a number of day hikers looking at me like I was crazy. So I knew I wasn't on the right trail. And I just bushwhacked back. So yeah, look at this. Beautiful canyon. Go swimming. Big bridge. Look at those waterfalls. Oh, awesome.
Coming down to Sierra City was a real treat. Saw some beautiful trees. Before that, I saw a beautiful sunset and the sunrise right on top of the peak. Here's a piece of wood that I brought home for a souvenir of the trail. They were doing a lot of clearing. But look at the colors in this sky. This was actually right next to where our tent was at. Beautiful blues and yellows and oranges and pinks. Really makes you appreciate what God has given us. Look at that. When you get up there and you see all this beauty, you really want to stay there. Eliminate all the hogwash at home, all the main things from the Matrix. I'll sit up there and watch these colors all day. Here's the sunrise at the same spot. Look at that. Gosh, it's beautiful. So on my way down to Sierra City, passed through those beautiful canyons, and here's a little clip of what Sierra City looks like. Look at this nice little area for us hikers to hang out at. Well, we got down to Sierra City, got a Coca-Cola, started to hydrate, got a sandwich, which was really good from the general store, got a root beer float, got a couple beers, listened to some Mexican music across the way, and just hung out as we wait for our shuttle driver, the freeloader. The freeloader was taking us to Truckee. That's where we spent the night, and then drove us the next day to Reno, where we ended up sleeping one more night in Reno while we waited for our flight. Here's the skyline at Truckee. Grabbed dinner there and had a real nice time. So thank you for watching. There's the freeloader, and this is basically in Reno. This is Rick Osborne Jr. with Geology Rocks. And again, thanks for watching. Over and out.